Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we have a massive win today. We're just getting W's across the country here, left and right, and that's what I like to see. So, we have some great news from Marjorie Taylor Greene, which is Marjorie Taylor Greene. My apologies about legislation about medical transition, gender transition. That would be fantastic. Let's get directly into the news here. MTG drops bombshell legislation to ban medical transgender transition of minors across the U.S. Congresswoman Major Taylor Greene is taking aim at the trans craze sweeping the nation with a new bill that seeks to criminalize the medicalized gender transition of minors. The Protect Children's Innocence Act would outright ban and prohibit all so-called gender affirmative care for minors in the U.S. and offer civil protections to any minor upon whom these procedures were done. Greene provided the legislation exclusively to the post-millennial. God, I can't speak English. The bill is co-sponsored by Mary Miller, Illinois' Jeff Duncan, Bob Good, Matt Gaetz, Ralph Norman, and Tony Gonzalez. Of those in the GOP who do not back the back the bill or who acquiesce to the medical gender transition of minors. Greene says they are worthless in June. Some GOP lawmakers broached the Protecting Minors from Medical Malpractice Act so that minors could sue those doctors that harmed them through gender affirmative care. The bill would make pharmaceutical gender affirmation of minors a Class C felony, punishable up to 25 years in prison and a $255,000 fine, and stop any taxpayer-funded insurance plans from paying for this kind of treatment. The law would bar any school from providing instruction on those practices. In the event that a foreign national is found to have carried out the medical gender transition of a minor, they will be ineligible to receive visas or be admitted into the United States. The bill clearly lays out that no minor who underwent surgeries or pharmaceutical intervention for the purpose of gender transition would be held liable, instead saying that the minor would have recourse against each person who performed the gender affirmative care. That which characterizes what is known as gender affirming care includes dozens of procedures as well as the application of drugs that would be prohibited under the bill. That the procedures and drugs are laid bare shows the scope of what kind of butchery is considered justifiable under the cause of trans care. These include castration, oroplasty, cystoplasty, vasectomy, hysterectomy, oophorectomy, ovariotomy, medioplasty, peniloplasty, phalloplasty, vaginoplasty, vulvoplasty, reduction thoracic. I am sorry if I mispronounce these words. They're very long, difficult words that medical doctors seem to come up with, or scientists, and they had to make them very long and annoying for normal people to read. Chondrologoplasty and mastectomy. In the event that these are done on healthy minors for the purpose of gender affirmation or to cure gender dysphoria. Cross-sex hormones and puberty blocks are also prohibited for purpose of gender affirmation or curing gender dysphoria. Greene spoke to the Post-Millennial about her plans to bring a bill of this kind before the House, saying this is child abuse and it should be completely illegal, and anyone that performs those therapies or those surgeries, they should be in jail. 100% agree. I 100% agree because we're also trying to make it to where we're trying to legalize child pedophilia through this type of stuff as well. So, be as it may, we're destroying kids' lives. We're honestly butchering them in every way possible. It's disgusting that this type of stuff is going on. Absolutely disgusting. And anybody that advocates for this stuff, they have a special place in hell for you, let me tell you that. A Republican majority is completely worthless if we are not standing up and stopping this, Greene said to the Post-Millennial. The Republican Party needs to be the party that protects children, stops puberty blockers, hormone therapy, genital mutilation surgery of anyone under 18 before they're old enough to actually make a decision. When it comes to gender-affirming care, which is really child abuse, this is actually an assault, Greene said, speaking to Tucker Carlson, and this is a practice that should never happen. She said that this issue is a referendum on the Republican Party, and that the party isn't even deserving of the American people's votes if we cannot protect children from this horrific child abuse. The bill comes as Boston Children's Hospital, among others, have been blasted by concerned parents, pundits, and politicians who became aware that the hospital was performing double mastectomies on healthy girls beginning at age 15 as a means to treat gender dysphoria, and vaginoplasties on young men starting at the age of 17. After this information was made public, backlash was swift. The hospital took down its videos. Of course it did, because what they're doing is mutilating and butchering children. That's why. And they go out to defend their evil practices. Listen, I'm telling you right now, what these people do is butcher children and do not care for the health of these children. Because the children will live with these scars and these mental issues for the rest of their lives. And we need to put a stop to this. I would endorse everyone to vote for this bill and make sure that it passes. And if it doesn't pass, make sure it would be completely asinine that we would not pass this bill because these people are sick. We have people trying to defend that, oh, they need the care that they need. No, they do not need this type of care because it's butchering children. And we know exactly what it is. Get the hell out of here. And anybody that advocates for this bill, I hope you get out of this country too. It's disgusting. Children deserve an opportunity to thrive and grow as their own authentic selves. Parents, guardians, and healthcare providers who support them in that journey should be allowed to do so free of threats and harassment, the attorney wrote in a statement. President Joe Biden has also spoken out in favor of the medicalized gender transition of minors, saying on Trans Visibility Day that parents must affirm your kids, and saying that they would be brave for doing so. No, they wouldn't. You're supporting... This is the reason why I don't like Joe Biden and any of his ilk. Because they actively justify mutilating children. We have ample evidence of what these procedures do to people. Just go look at what they are. Exactly. And then go look at the horrific pictures or anything that is shown to what it does to the human body. It's absolutely disgusting. It's detestable on what it is. And we are doing this to children. It is sick. And Joe Biden and his ilk want this to happen to children. They want to hurt the children. They want them as test subjects. They want them as experiments. Because they know that they can confuse and control children because they don't know any better. Because they're children. That's the reason why. And they will continue to manipulate and confuse and harm children to fit their own fucking agenda. And it's absolutely disgusting. You guys want to go keep on voting for Democrats? Okay, so every time you vote for the Democrats as of currently right now, you're voting for the mutilation of children. Remember that. When you put in that blue vote and you say, I'm going to vote Democrat today. Notice that blue vote, that vote that you're putting in is for mutilating children. Because that's all the Democrats are for. You want me to prove it to you? I'll give you all kinds of records that you want to show that that's what the majority of the Democrats want. Now, am I going to say that the Democrats of maybe normal Democrats, the normal people that are not usually politicians, that normal people want this? No, most likely they don't. But the politicians do. They want to mutilate children, and they've been very known that they have. Because for the trans people. Yes, well, the trans people have a lot of mental health issues, as we know, and by and large, it hurts and mutilates children. We're seeing all the videos coming out where they're doing very questionable things to children in general. It needs to stop. And I vote for this bill. Great job on Marjorie Taylor Greene for this type of stuff. Good job on the Republicans to try to actually fight back. And I'm not saying the Republicans are great, because I know they're not great. They have issues on their own. And we need to weed out the terrible ones. Like Liz Cheney for one. She's part of the problem. And they need to be kicked out and removed. And any other Republican that does so, or any person that does not do good for the people, deserves to be kicked out as well. So I'm not just saying this because we're Democrats. The only reason why I'm going hard on Democrats right now is because, yeah, we have some few rhinos. We have some few terrible Republicans that don't need to be in. But the Democrats are actively voting for this type of mutilation on children. And so are the rhinos, by the way. They're also going for this as well. So, again, get rid of them. But they are actively doing this. If you want to help children, if you want to save them from being mutilated constantly on the daily, then make sure you vote correctly. Because this shit needs to stop. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.